Shalom. I want to start by saying all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Chakwadash, double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders, millstone, and salutations that I can push this word, and also sitting in honesty, and all full let constantly enduring Shalom. My name is Kara Allah, and Lord willing, thanks for the edifying lesson. The title of this lesson is going to be hate, 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 like a chant, okay, because that's the spirit that this place is coming into. Or it's already in, I should say. It's the spirit of hate, okay, because of the calamities, the tribulations, all right. The people are being weighed down with hard times, and it's going to cause these people to hate one another, and that's all through the spirit. So, Lovins, check out this video from CNN, and it's CNN, so you take what they say and just intensify the numbers, okay? Intensify the numbers because they always try to lower the numbers and the rates, all right? So Lawrence edifying lesson.
Growth slowed to a crawl last month. I want to bring in CNN's Matt Egan, who joins me now. So what are these numbers? What are we seeing in this?
Well, Omar, look, after years of resilience, the U.S. job market looks increasingly fragile, especially after the latest numbers that just came out. So this report just moments ago shows the U.S. economy added 22,000 jobs in August. That is very low. It's also just a fraction of the 77,000 jobs that had been expected. The unemployment rate went up to 4.3% from 4.2%. That was expected, but this is notable because this is the highest unemployment rate since October of 2021, and it breaks a stretch where the unemployment rate had kind of stayed in this very low range. Still relatively low, but moving in the wrong direction. The other big news here, though, is what happened as far as revisions. We saw that July was revised a little bit higher, but more important was June. June was revised from a low number of just 14,000 jobs were added to now negative 13,000 jobs. It's not quite showing up on that bar chart, but June is the first month where the U.S. economy lost jobs since December of 2020 during COVID. So this breaks a nearly 5-year stretch of job growth, of uninterrupted job growth in the U.S. economy. That's the second longest stretch in U.S. history, but now it's over. And when we're digging into some of the sectors here, a couple things stand out. We're seeing a number of the goods producing sectors in the U.S. economy lose jobs, right? We're talking about construction lost 6,000 jobs in August. Mining and logging also lost jobs. Manufacturing lost jobs as well. 12,000 jobs for manufacturing, which is, I think, pretty notable because one of the issues in this economy is all the uncertainty over trade policy, right? Tariffs are supposed to be supporting the manufacturing industry, but instead, the manufacturing industry is actually losing jobs for 4 months in a row. This is the unemployment rate going back to 2020. You see that massive spike on the left side of the screen. Of course, that was COVID, came down dramatically, stayed at historically low levels. But now, on the right side of your screen, you can see it is starting to tick higher. So I think you got to put all of this into the bigger picture, right? We've gotten a number of different indicators showing that this job market really is starting to stall out. And you're looking at U.S. markets reacting. The Dow futures were down a little bit before this. They actually came up just a tiny bit from where they were. Not a major reaction, I think, from investors. I think that's because in a lot of ways, this report, it probably seals the deal on an interest rate cut later this month from the Federal Reserve. Wall Street was already thinking it was basically a slam dunk. And I think that this latest weakness, including the fact that the unemployment rate is up to a nearly 4-year high, I think that's probably going to seal the deal on a rate cut from the Fed, which is obviously something the White House has been calling for. Of course, they wanted a cut because of low inflation. That's probably not the reason, right? The reason would be because of low hiring.
And of course, this is the first jobs report since, the controversy over the regular reporting of jobs numbers last month. And so even these numbers could get revised in the future, but as you just laid out in June, the numbers could also get revised down.
Right, absolutely. Look, revisions are normal. It happens, right? As the BLS gets new survey responses in from the businesses they talk to. They're going to update their numbers just like a meteorologist who updates their hurricane forecast when they get new data. Unfortunately, these updates, though, they've been mostly coming into the downside and again showing that hiring has really stalled out here.
And it's negative in June. It's just the floor of that graph is zero.
Negative, exactly.
What we covered, the latest employment snapshots from the Bureau of Labor Statistics paint a bleak picture of the current state of the economy under President Donald Trump. Right? It's very bleak, okay? And it's only going to get worse, okay? It says labor market deterioration. Just 22,000 jobs were added in August, dramatically lower than economics expectation for 76,500 new roles. Negative job growth. For the first time in nearly 4 years, the economy lost jobs with the decline of 13,000 positions in June. Rising unemployment, the jobless rates rose to 4.3, the highest level since 2021. Stagnation. The data underscores the extent to which consumers and businesses are struggling to accommodate the weight of tariffs, stubborn inflation, the decline of America's crucial immigration workforce, and overall economic uncertainty. Okay, a lot of these things are man-made, if not all of it, okay? Why? Because they want to bring in that new system, which that new system is going to be ran using the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. Okay, that'll be the new currency. All right, instead of the numbers being written on dollars on paper, right? The numbers is going to be a number system that they'll digitally use by implanting a microchip under your skin, either in your hand or on your forehead or whatever part of the body. Okay, so what it is basically, Esau easing in their whole new agenda. All right, the New World Order. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Okay, so when things happen, at what time they're happening, how they're happening, there's a purpose. Okay, and who controls that? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, to everything there's a season, a time to every purpose under the heaven. Okay, so we're not operating on our own times. Things aren't just happening out of coincidence. Okay, it's an order to these things. Okay, the problem is now Ecclesiastes 3 and 8 says a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Okay, so the like I mentioned earlier, the title of this lesson is going to be hate, hate, hate. Okay, like a chant, because that's what it is. That's the spirit that the world is in today. Okay, I just showed a video from CNN on the job losses, the negative jobs, inflations. Okay, all you saw was negativity. And what's that's gonna push? That's gonna push hate amongst the people, because people are going to need they're going to need resources for their families, and they will get their resources at whatever cost. Okay, because here it is, people are trying to work, but there is no work. So it's not their fault, but they're being pushed to the edge. Okay, it says Ecclesiastes 3 and 8, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Okay, so this is not a time of love. There is no love. It's a time of hate. Okay, it's a dog eat dog world. Every man for themselves. Okay, it says a time of war and a time of peace. We're not in the time of love. We are the time of hate and time of war. Okay, there's all sorts of wars going on. One of them is tariff wars. okay, or trade wars, whatever you want to call it, man. But they have these tariffs that's also affecting businesses in, especially in America, around the whole world. Okay, but we're dealing with America. Why? Because that's prophecies. Okay, America's going to be destroyed, and right now we're watching this place circle the drain. Second Ezra 15:19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulations. Now, great tribulations is coming to this place, right? One of them is going to be famines, okay? Which is nothing for your government to create a man-made famine. All right, they create man-made fires, they create man-made earthquakes, they create man-made floods. Okay, it's nothing for them to create a man-made famine. All right, there's lack of bread, even the lack of water. All right, this whole economy is in the it's a mess. This whole economy is crumbling, and guess what? It's man-made. Okay, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulations. So people are going to lose that the feelings of empathy, all right, the feelings of love and kindness. They're gonna lose those feelings under the pressure of the tribulations that they're going to face in the near future. Okay, and we're seeing it happen now. We just saw the stock market. We just saw the money is crumbling. All right. The finances are increasing. The tariffs are increasing. All right, we see the job losses, and it's looking pretty bad. And it's gonna get worse. We're reading it now. These are prophecies to come. Okay, straight to America. Isaiah 24:2, and it shall be as with the people, so with the priests. As with the servant, so with the master. As with the maid, so with the mistress. As with the buyer, so with the seller. As with the lender, so with the borrower. As with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him. Okay, so let's read that in the NLT. Okay, it says Isaiah 24:2. It says priests and lay people, servants and masters, maids and mistresses, buyers and sellers, lender and borrowers, bankers and debtors, none will be spared. Okay? None will be spared. So your status is not going to matter. Okay? Matter of fact, when you read about the chip in Revelations 13, it says what? It says free or bond, rich or poor. Okay, so everyone is going to be put through that those trials and tribulations. Okay, because ultimately the whole world has to be hooked up to that whole system, that new system, okay, or that beast system. All right, so it doesn't matter if your status on the earth, it's all doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter what you accomplished in your lifetime. It's really all vanity. It's not gonna save you. The only thing that's gonna save you is having faith in Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, okay, and doing the works, right? Calling upon those names, All right, that's what's going to save you. This is Isaiah 24:10. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. Okay, that city of confusion is America. America is that place of confusion. Okay, mainly because why? Every law, statute, and commandment is broken. All right, if these heathens around the world that might have some kind of order about them, if they want to come to a place where they could be free and be themselves and not worry about being reprimanded, they come to America. Okay, where a man could be a woman, a child could be a cat. Okay, your children will get the parents locked up. Okay, this is that place of confusion. It says Isaiah 24:10, the city of confusion is broken down. It's broken down, man. It's through. Okay, this place is through. The glory days are long gone. All right, the economy is shot. These nations are going back to their countries. Right. These nations have better nuclear capability. These nations are better structured financially. Right? This place is through. It says every house is shut up, that no man may come in. There's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. Okay? Crying for wine in the streets. The wine's representing the truth, the gospel. All right? Because when all hell breaks loose, that's when people listen. All right? When the World Trade collapsed, you had people buying Bibles. Right? The apostles always tell us they had the biggest crowd of people listening to their every word. Okay? So that goes to show you that when chaos happens, that's when people want to be more in touch with their spirit, the spirituality, or more in touch with the Most High. Okay, if they feel like, you know, there might be a higher power. You know, people get real spiritual when things are going bad. Okay, but guess what? It's going to be too late. Isaiah 24:12. In the city is left. It says Isaiah 24:11. There's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. The mirth is leaving. Okay, basketball, football, it's all trash. Okay, these game systems, trash. These outings, these restaurants, it's all trash. The women, garbage. Okay, the American woman is so out of order. Okay, they don't know how to love. They all in it for the money. Right, they're all whores. They don't know how to serve. Okay, so the mirth is gone. Even the men. The men is a sad case. Right, the women in America and the men basically switch places. The men are bitches. Okay, the men are feminized. Right. That's why when Esau rolls, it's out the roll. It says the men will be like women in the time of Jacob's trouble. Isaiah 24:12. And the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. All right. It says Isaiah 24:9. Let's go up a little bit. It says, they shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. You know, there's a difference when you drink to be happy and when you drink when you're mourning. All right. So when people drink, they're not going to be drinking a joyful drink. You know, like when you're happy, you might go to the bar and order your favorite drink, some daiquiri or some margarita or some frozen drink. But when you depressed or mourning, You go to the drink, to the bar, and you just order a double shot of vodka, neat, and just take it to the head. All right? So that's the spirit these people are going to be in these last days, man. If they do drink, it's going to be out of sorrow and pity. Lord's edifying lesson. Once again, I want to say all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Hakodash, double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders, great millstone, and salutations to Akim, pushing his word, in all sincerity and honesty. Shalom.